Nice. And I know you big men and
Big
big women
children.
are somebody's children too, right? So you really had me as well. And I think the problem is when we think we are big men, big women, we stop listening, we do our own stuff, right? And that's when we get into trouble.
That's right.
So we are God's children, and this story is for you. And I remember a time I was giving a children's story, and with all my excitement, I tried to say, "So we heard it already." Please, if you heard this story already, actors do, it's the first time.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Thank you. And the story is told of someone called Miss Jackson. And Miss Jackson was a very caring lady who decided to have a sort of wonderful Thanksgiving service in her neighborhood. Well, she didn't just invite her friends, she studied the children who probably didn't have the opportunity to get toys, to get certain things to eat, to have a good time. So she went all throughout the community, right? That's how we should do it, right? Like Bible. Not just inviting persons who are rich, who will give us back something, but those who need it the most, right? So that was Miss Jackson. And during the Thanksgiving, she went and she called all the children together, and they were there at her home. And there was one boy by the name of Johnny who was really happy. Okay, he didn't have any toys, he didn't have a lot of things. So just to be there, he was really excited. So as you know, they would be having their games, they would be singing, they would be eating good stuff. And there came a time when she had to share some numbers. Now, she had a nice table. Think about a large table on top there with toys for each person. And the truth is, the person who got number one would have been able to select the toy from the table, probably the most desired toy. But this time it was a special fire truck. And of course, she shared all the numbers, and there were over 20 children, and some got 19. But they were still happy, because just to get a toy, you're glad, right? Some got 10. And everybody wanted number one. Who do you think got number one? Johnny, right? Now when Johnny got number one, some children watched at him, they said, "Wow, I wish it was me." And the time came, he went up to the table, everybody was actually looking at that fire truck. There were other things, but everyone's eye was on that fire truck. But while Johnny was walking, and everybody's hearts in their hands, and saying, "I hope he doesn't take it." And he just went in the direction of the fire truck. But then he took a dolly. Could you imagine that? Now everybody looked at him, "What? A dolly?" And then the children started to laugh. "Johnny took a dolly, a dolly, a dolly. Johnny took a dolly." All right, so they were there chanting, they were laughing. But Miss Jackson found that really interesting and unusual. So of course, Johnny went back to his seat, and the other child who got number two said, "Wow." He went straight for that fire truck, happy, excited, right? And everybody had his turn, the girls had their turn, and everybody was happy because everyone got something. Now at the end, Miss Jackson decided to wave everybody goodbye, wish them the best, grant them God's love. But she decided to follow Johnny on his way home. She said, "How could this young man do something like this?" So while Johnny went home, his parents came for him. Miss Jackson followed, and she decided to pop up by the door. And just looking through the window, she saw something that left her in shock. You know what Johnny did? As a matter of fact, Johnny was walking inside, and Miss Jackson saw Johnny going to a bed where there was a young lady who was really his sick sister. And he presented that dolly to her, right? And when she saw that, you could imagine tears came from her eyes. Here is a young man who had the opportunity to take anything for himself, then decide to think about himself. He thought about his sister, right?
Amen. Amen.
The truth is, children, all of us, do we think about others when we get an opportunity? Think about it, yeah? The best opportunity to choose what you want. What about thinking about somebody else who needed more than you?
Amen.
Well, that was Johnny. And of course, you know, when I read the book Dissolve Ages, I learn about Christ. And it said when Jesus had his own meal, sometimes he used to just give it away to somebody who did not have food. Well, what would like us to be Johnnies? You would like us to think about others.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Amen.